Junkies. Welcome to this review of...
Late review, sorry.
Very late review, but it's okay. I think everyone's watching this series all the time. Every time I go on Netflix, Black Mirror's up there as the most watched.
Yeah, people see.
One of the most watched shows. So this is Bête Noire. This is episode 2. So we've seen episode 1.
We've seen episode 3.
With Chris O'Dowd.
Yeah.
And then we saw Hotel Reverie, which we loved. And this is Bête Noire. This is the curious one. This is the one sort of about bullying in a sense, isn't it? Or a bully.
Yes, a Mandela effect.
The Mandela effect, that's right. Now, the Mandela effect, let's talk about the Mandela effect. This is ridiculous. So the Mandela effect basically means that lots of people think that Mandela died in prison. Except the vast majority of people of my generation don't think that at all. Is it a generational thing, the Mandela effect?
Yeah, maybe it's after that. I've never known what it kind of originated from, but like everyone says Mandela effect because for people that don't know what Mandela effect is, it's the idea that you remember things incorrectly. So It's like one of the big ones, for example, is that if you were asked what the Monopoly man looks like, you think he has a monocle. He doesn't have a monocle. Curious George doesn't have a tail. Looney Tunes is spelt Looney Tunes, not Tunes.
See, for me, I would say call it the Monopoly effect, because none of my generation thought Mandela died. We fought for his freedom, so we know it. It's bollocks. But anyway, no, it is the idea. You're right. I like it. It's the idea that something that we accept as a given or definitive is in fact not accurate.
Not that, yeah.
And really, this is a film in which the name of the lead character is Maria, and she works in a chocolate making factory.
Yes.
And she's quite ambitious. She has a boyfriend. She's kind of developed...
Good place in her life.
Good place in her life. Yeah, exactly. Good place in her life. She's got a nice partner. She's successful. And she's created a taste. She's created a sort of... they're testing a new flavour that she's created. Is that right? And then when they go in for the tasting session, at this point it was all feeling a bit Willy Wonka-y, wasn't it? It's like, I wonder what goes into a flavour. And they're all kind of going around this kind of focus group. Kind of hate focus groups. You get them in so many walks of life. You get focus groups for telly where people go, "Oh yeah, I can understand it." It sounded like didn't watch it. It was like watching the radio, and everyone then starts to extrapolate all these decisions from a focus group, and the focus group might not even know what the fuck they're watching. But anyway, so there was a focus group. They're all looking through a sort of one-way mirror. They're listening to their comments about the flavour that she's created, and then one of the women in the group, one tester, Verity.
Yes.
Sort of almost, well, the weird thing about Verity is she sort of rescues her taste, doesn't she?
She's like the only one that kind of says something good about it, and then it changes everybody else's mind.
And then,
but they went to school together, basically.
Right, that's right. And then Verity inveigles her way into the company.
Yes. But Maria, the main character, keeps being a bit like, she was really weird in school.
Yes.
I don't know why she's working here now.
Yes.
Like, clearly doesn't like her for some reason.
Yeah, there's a kind of coldness and a distance.
Yeah.
And a sort of... I quite like that, because at first I was with Maria. I thought this new girl had come in was a pain. I thought she's weird, she's annoying, she's strange. But then quite quickly things start to happen where we think things have happened in the way that Maria says things have happened, but people begin to think that they haven't.
Everyone else seems to think that's not been happening.
Yes.
Yeah, so the first thing was... So now Verity's kind of got the job there, and everybody quite likes her, and you can tell like it's really bothering Maria because she's like, why does everyone like her? She's free. And they're all talking about a chicken shop, or a franchise. It was called Barney's, and she was like, no, it's called Bernie's because my boyfriend used to work there, and he wears a cap like all day, every day. So I know that it's called Bernie's or Barney's, whichever way around. And she's like so definite about it, and if you rewatch the episode at the start, the cap he's wearing, it says Barney's, and then
so it does change.
Yeah, but then everybody else is like, no, it's not. So she searches it up and she's wrong, but she's like, I've always seen it that way. And like loads of things start happening like that where she's convinced of like what the truth is, but everybody else is like, what are you on about? That was never it.
Yeah, and I found that it was kind of disconcerting, but it was also kind of annoying too, because
I got the frustration that I get with the Mandela effect, where I'm like, no, that's definitely how I remembered it.
Yes.
So I felt so much Maria's frustration in it. Like if I was in her position, I'd be getting so fucking annoyed.
Yeah. I think what I really liked about this episode, because I think we're going to get to what the kind of actual rub was, and I have to confess, I think of the 3, it was perhaps my least favourite. But the reason for that was I thought what was most effective in this episode, was watching Maria losing control and losing the certainty of her career path and her respect and what her work colleagues thought of her. I thought that was really quite well drawn. I thought it was a real, that pathological fear, because, you know, I mean, basically the episode works on the premise that we keep questioning ourselves as the viewer, don't we? Because we haven't made a mental note of everything ourselves.
Yeah.
So there's enough there, like you say, if you rewound it and check the cap, you go, oh no, something's afoot.
Yeah.
But in the linear process of watching the program, you're like, oh. And so you begin to think, oh, am I questioning my sanity? Is she going mad? Oh no. And then we start to, I don't know if you had the same thing. I started to have many moments where I was thinking, oh yeah, no, she's obviously got a screw loose. She's losing her mind.
Yeah, yeah.
She's getting things so wrong.
Yeah, because she's so paranoid.
Yeah, exactly. And I really like the way we got that sense of her you felt like, oh my God, hang on a minute. If this goes a couple of beats too much further, because even her boyfriend was disputing stuff, you thought, everyone will start to think she's mad, and I hate that thing.
Yeah, yeah.
My worst fear is that one flew over the cuckoo's nest thing.
No, same. That's why it was that's why I found it so kind of because the idea of being made to feel like you've literally gone mad and everybody else is normal, like drives me crazy.
Yeah, and I thought that was the rich spot. I mean, I got a little bogged down in the technicality.
Well, the point that we kind of realised that it's not, that clearly something's being done to her is it's made quite clear from the start that she's always had a really severe nut allergy.
Oh, that's right.
And like throughout the episode there keeps being this woman who's like, who ate all my almond milk? And everyone's like, I don't know who ate who drank all my almond milk. And then we get a scene between Maria and what's her name? Verity. Where Verity like chugs all of their almond milk in front of Maria. She's like, what the hell? And they come in and the woman's like, right, who fucking drank it? And then she's like, oh, it was Verity. They take her to watch the CCTV, and on the CCTV, Maria's the one chugging the milk. But we're like, well, we saw that Maria didn't drink the milk, so what's going on? And then we quickly discover that Verity's behind all of it.
Basically.
And she basically, long story short, has a necklace where she can speak, kind of like command things, and it becomes the reality. So when they went into the room to watch the video of her drinking the milk, she goes, I didn't do it, like holding her necklace. So it made the reality be that, so throughout the whole episode when all these different things have been going on and Maria feels like she's going mad, the actual reality has been changed because she's trying to make her go insane. And the reason why is because Maria and her friend group like horrifically bullied and made all these rumours when they were back in school, and she's basically trying to get back at Maria and her friend.
And I like that, you see. There were the two things I thought were the strongest in this show, and you could argue is what makes it a better show than some of the others, but what I thought was really effective was her loss of her, or the idea that she was losing a grip on reality. Anything that questions the certainty of things for the viewer, I think you can have great fun with it, can't you? Because we're doubting ourselves, we don't doubt her, then we do doubt her, and then we're pivoting all over the place. I thought that was neat. I like the fact that Verity had come back into her life and was, in a sense, we discover, doing all of this with her strange quantum time-travelling almost necklace. She was doing all of this to get payback for the bullying, because it makes everyone reflect on who they've treated. I mean, we know someone close to us who, when they were much older, decided to apologise to everyone they bullied because they'd been bullied themselves. And so, you know, I thought it was interesting about bullying, it was interesting about vengeance, it was interesting about revenge. And it was interesting watching Verity's character have that strength. And the
also
ends
it was
that
Verity's character had already driven Maria's friend from school to suicide by doing the same thing to her. And she was like, she killed herself, but she lasted longer than you did. She didn't go crazy until like a couple of weeks, and you've been just like a few days and really gone mad.
But what I also liked about it was you realised, well, as you discover what the tech is, I think where I literally, a big part of me kind of went, oh, what was with the pendant?
No, I do get that. I mean, and the whole thing of when she went to the house, it was all very like, now we're explaining what this is all about, like what happened.
I mean, there was a very quick scene of violence in the bedroom.
I quite liked all that bit, and like how she then ended up being empress. I thought she did it so well.
Yes, I thought the end was nice.
She met everyone because she goes, and I'm the empress of the universe, and there was just this woman.
Yeah, and that in a weird way spoke to the idea of, you know, I always used to be obsessed when I was when I was younger than you, with is it the Aladdin story where you can, you know, you rub the Aladdin's lamp and you get 3 wishes, and there's always that thought, I'm going to make a wish that I can have more wishes. Or my wish will be that I can always ask for wishes. One was always looking for a wraparound, a sort of work around it and how to get around it. And I thought that was neat too. I just found, for the cleverness of it all, and for the cleverness of the other 2 episodes, I found a necklace pendant that when she pressed, quantum changed everything a bit a bit
It was the most
simple.
outlandish out of the ones that we've watched, because the other ones we've watched have been more, I guess, realistic in terms of the technology and how it would be used, and this one's a bit more like kind of asking Marvel minds.
Yeah, it was a
like
bit Marvel. I was
realm.
getting a bit kind of quantum physicky and all that.
But I feel like all that bit happened so quick that I kind of just dealt with it. Like, it didn't end up being a long kind of, I don't know, like boring explanation of what the whole episode had been. I mean, it was the weakest part of any of the episodes I've seen, but I would say that, like, it didn't ruin the episode for me. And I think because the rest of the episode, in my opinion, had been so strong, that didn't really change it for me. I was just a bit like, okay, now we need some kind of explanation, because they have to explain how the rest of the episode's gone down. I just kind of saw it as like, this is the bit that they have to get out of the way and they have to explain to us.
And it was that. I do like the title of it. I mean, Bête Noire, what is a Bête Noire? Bête Noire is that sort of a pet hate or something that you want to avoid. I mean, strictly speaking, the French translation is black beast. And it's, you know, when you say, when people often say, oh, she's my Bête Noire, she's kind of like, I need to avoid her, she's like my worst enemy type thing,
because she knew that she had something. And there was a whole thing of like, I think Bete says it to Maria, she's like, you would just want to be liked by everyone, and her boyfriend says it, you just need to be liked by everyone. So it played into that. She had this terrible fear that, like, because she was working, she was in her place of work, that she was going to tell everybody what she was actually like, or what she actually did. But I do have a fun fact about this episode. They filmed 2 versions.
Did they?
Of all the scenes where the Mandela effecty bits happen, like Bernie's and Barney's. So that when you talk about it with your friends, you'll have different answers for.
No way.
So it's like playing into the same.
So there are 2 versions out there.
So, like the version I watched, or we watched, it was either that the shop had been Bernie's and she was convinced it was Barney's. Some of my friends got it the other way around, where it was Barney's and what they were all saying was Bernie's. So we were just like, no, it's Bernie's, not Barney's.
Oh my God, so they've managed to create real world Bandersnatch kind of
they filmed
confusion.
They filmed 2 versions for.
See, that's where this show is so fucking clever. That's really nifty.
That made me like it.
That makes me like it even more. Oh, that makes me like it even more. I'm really pleased you told me that. And also the other final thing that I really liked about it was, in a weird way, what was the main character's name? Maria, her ambition for self, her sort of egotism and narcissism was that much more than the other one. Although the other one was killing people, she hadn't wished for empressness. And yet she does. So she's almost worse with the kid. Where's she got left to go now? She's an empress.
Yeah, that's it.
At least the other one was building through the world, you know, destroying all your worst enemies. Actually, so talking about it, it's got better just in the conversation. I just thought the process of appending was a bit
I do get you.
A bit simplistic. What would you score it?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it also helped that I think it's one of those episodes that if you're in the right mind, if you're in the right headspace for it, I just felt like really up for something like that. So I think I just enjoyed it that bit more than it maybe would have if I hadn't been up for it.
Wasn't as dark as the first one for sure, which was kind of nice.
But the violent scene was quite shocking, because the rest of it had been pretty like ordinary life, and then suddenly like really gory.
It felt more traditional Black Mirror because it was quite British as well.
I think that's why I liked liked that as well. But genuinely, in terms of enjoyment watching it, because I really, really enjoyed it, I think I would give it like a solid 95. Like, I really liked it. Well, and then hearing that they filmed 2 versions of that scene,
love that. Well, that's made it go up from an 80 to an 85 for me.
Okay, that's still not bad.
Still not bad. I mean, they're great shows, and they're
and I thought Maria was really good in it.
Really good.
The actress was.
Really good. Maria was really good, but so too was Verity. And if I'm right in thinking, I think the name Verity actually translates from verite, which is truth, I think, or reality, which is kind of funny. Well, there you go, guys. Tell us what you think.